You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
And let us take a nice comfortable place on our mat in reclined. So lying down on your back, and have the feet to one side, so restorative rest pose. So the feet go to the outer edges of your mat, and then you gently allow the knees to just rock in towards one another. And just feel, comfortable where you are there. Let's take our Yoni Mudra once more. So our Yoni Mudra is making a triangle with the thumb and the index finger. And then that Yoni Mudra then places itself down just underneath the navel. So the fingertips point downwards and the thumbs are nicely loosely connected, and relax the wrists, relax the elbows. And almost breathe through the belly into that triangle or a diamond. Maybe you're making a diamond. And feel that connection of breath. Feel that connection of energy from the mudra. And draw into your energetic center. And as we come to a new month, we have a new theme, and we'll start to work through our Muladhara chakra today in particular. Our Muladhara chakra is our root chakra, located down at the pelvic floor. So just take note now of any tension that you might be holding in the pelvis, or maybe you're drawing in and tensing up in the pelvic floor area. Try to relax, breathe out, let everything go here. Finding a steady and even Samavriti breath, breathing in from the root into that Yoni Mudra, and exhale back to the root. So you really try and relax the lower back, relax the waist and hips, relax the buttocks, relax the legs. And notice if you're taking any tension into the calves, the shins, the ankles, or the feet or toes. And our Muladhara, our base, our root, our essence. It is a grounding, a very stable, a very steady and safe chakra to work with. It is the first chakra and located at the base of the spine near the perineum. So if ever you do feel unbalanced, uprooted, then working through the lower body, working into this area, will hopefully bring some groundedness, some steadiness to your focus. As your breath flows easily, trust in your breath, trust in you, and trust in your body home. Taking a few moments just to feel Notice and observe. Really drawing inwards, going inside to a place that feels stable, solid, and unmoving. A place where you feel at ease and protected. Sense its location. And take your breath to this place, as this is your safe haven. Each breath out allows you a deeper sense of letting go. There's always more release to be found. And always your choice at the beginning of your practice when you come to the mat to invite an intention or a sankalpa into your practice. And remembering our theme, that feeling of being grounded and balanced and steady, really tapping into the earth and your true essence. Maybe you wish to invite an intention for your practice. Begin to deepen the breath, breathing in through the nostrils and just sigh out through the mouth. Bring awareness back into the body as you start to move, releasing the mudra, taking the arms out to the side of you, palms face up, and just wiggle the fingers here. Caress the palms, the base of the fingers and the thumb, and then start to lift the wrists away from the mat so that you can circle through the wrist joints. Circling one way and the other. And then heel toe the feet in towards the center of your mat. Bring them parallel to the hips and the knees. And then just feel yourself realign pelvis, hips, spine, shoulders, and the head. And lift and wiggle the toes here. Feel the big toe and all of the toes touching and releasing away from the mat as you wiggle. And then start drawing the toes up towards the sky as you flex into the ankle and rock the weight back in towards the heels. So as if you're drawing the toes up towards the kneecaps. And then gently release the left foot down. Keep the right foot lifted. Roll the foot down as if you were almost rolling down through your spine, and then change the feet. So as you lift the left, start to roll down through the right foot. You feel the connection of the ball of the foot, the outside of the little toes, and then all the toes come down. Repeating that. So left foot rolls down, right foot flexes and raises up. So it's coordination. Left lifts, right rolls down. And last time, right lifts, left rolls down, and left lifts, and right rolls down. Release the left, and then lift up the knees a little, so you're bringing the toes a little closer in towards the body, and then try and relax the heels down here. So you're bringing the heels closer in towards the buttocks. See how far you can bring the feet. And maybe you can bring the hands and you might touch the ankles, you might touch the back of the heels, and maybe some people can actually wrap the fingertips around the front of the ankles. Try not to take tension into the neck and the throat here, so try to keep the neck nice and long, and just feel what you're touching here, whether it's the ankle, the back of the foot, the Achilles, or the front tendons. Maybe the fingertips are touching the front tendons. Relax the toes. Now try to relax the tendons, relax the feet, but feel the feet are grounded. Draw in the abdomen towards the lower back and the lower back in towards the mat. And then gently release the hands. Place the palms flat down by the side of the feet and just lift the tailbone slightly. So you're curling the pubic bone up towards the sky. And then gently roll down through the tailbone. So it's a tiny, tiny tilt, lifting the pubic bone, pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands, and roll down. So it's just the sacral vertebra and the lower lumbar section that are coming away from the mat. And gently, a few more, breathing in to raise, breathing out to roll down and lower. Now engage our Mula Bandha. So our Mula Bandha is that pelvic floor lock or our seal. So draw in everything in the pelvic floor. Keep breathing. Try to maintain a steady breath as you draw in. Everything draws in here, pelvic floor and sphincter. And imagine that there's energy traveling down through the spine out of the pelvic floor, and you're stopping that energy from being released. And release Mula Bandha. And then release the feet and just take the knees lightly in towards the chest. You can take the hands underneath the calves here if you wish to. You can interlace the wrists. You can hold onto the wrists. And maybe the knees are just going a little bit wider of the rib cage so that the belly is quite free here. Lengthen through the spine once more. And then take a look up. So lift the head nice and gently away from the mat. Feel the shoulder blades are still connected. Looking through the feet and then draw the toes up towards you. Look at your feet, say hi, and start wiggling the toes. Maybe just flexing and pointing the ankles or just making the ankles move, circling, whatever feels good. And then when you feel comfortable that your feet are still there and working, roll the head down and keep finding that movement through the ankles, the toes, and the soles and arches of your feet. Release the left foot down to the mat. Keep the right knee in towards the chest. And you can either keep the foot parallel or you might wish to open the knee of that left foot. Keep the right knee drawing in towards the rib cage. And here we're going to open the right leg, half happy baby, taking hold of the foot up towards the sky, flexing into the ankle, pressing the sole of the foot away. Nice deep exhale, draw the knee and thigh down. Let's stay here for a couple of minutes. So being aware of everything in the lower body. If you're not quite grabbing hold of the foot, you can always hold on to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Notice the left leg as well as the right hip. So one is open, or if you've chosen to open that left hip and left knee out to the side, or you might have the sole of the foot flat to the floor. Try to relax as much as you can in that right leg. And slowly release the hand, release the foot towards the mat, and take it into a butterfly pose. So now open the left if it was not open already. Place the soles of the feet together. Maybe the feet go a little bit further away from you, and try and relax into the hip area. Take the hands onto the belly if you like here. You might wish to return back to that yoni mudra, the diamond or the triangle shape of the index finger and the thumbs. So try and relax here in our butterfly. Notice if you have engaged into the glutes, the buttocks, or are they fully relaxed? Try to relax into the toes, the feet and the ankles, and allow the knees to be heavy. Keep using that exhale breath to relax and release a little bit more each time. If you feel tension and tightness coming back into the body, breathe out, pelvic floor relaxes. Last few breaths here. Taking the hands to the knees, lifting the legs together, bring the feet back into parallel, and then gently draw the knees in once more. Maybe take them a little bit wider. Hands come underneath the calves. And you lengthen through the spine here. Draw the tailbone down and give the belly room to breathe. And then lifting the head and the neck away from the mat, looking towards your feet. And then again, just gently circling, wiggling toes, letting the ankles be nice and floppy. And when you know that you're confident in that, you can relax the head and the neck back down to the mat. Keep the movement in the feet and the ankles, and then prepare for half happy baby on the left. So keeping the left leg in this time, right leg releases. Again, you can keep that knee up towards the sky with the sole of the foot on the floor, or you can gently allow that leg to roll out to the side, opening up the hip, the knee and the ankle. And then taking that left thigh outside of the rib cage, lifting that left foot up, flexion into the ankle, taking hold of the foot, the ankle or the calf. Each exhale, that knee draws down with gravity. Try to release tightness into the legs, the hips, keeping the spine and the pelvis bowl connected. This practice is all about being grounded to the earth and feeling what would be, our prop underneath us. The earth is our best prop. And slowly release the hand, release the foot down to the mat. This time, if you have a block handy, we are going to place the block underneath the pelvis. So this time you can place it on its lowest level and then reopen back up into butterfly pose. So the hips are lifted away from the mat and the block is underneath your bowl of your pelvis. Soles of the feet come together once more for butterfly. This time, take the arms up above the head and you can really open up through the chest and shoulders. Try to really nestle the shoulder blades down. Neck is soft, facial expression soft. Just notice the difference here with the block underneath. Might be found to be a little bit deeper. Try to process any sensations here. If you feel pain and discomfort here with the block, please remove it and just go to the butterfly once more. Relaxing glutes, buttocks, legs, feet and ankles. A few more breaths here. And then release the hands back down by the side of the body, taking hold of the thighs and just gently lift the legs together as you begin to close the hips. Take note of the response of the hips here and just drop the knees together. Soles of the feet go out to the sides and rest still on that block if you can. Hands can come down to the side of your body, palms face up. Just a moment of recovery. Heel toe the feet into parallel. And this time bring the heels back a little bit closer to the block. Lift away from the block as you press the palms and feet into the mat, lifting up into bridge, sending the knees away and rolling the shoulders underneath you. Few breaths, engaging glutes, lengthening thighs, hip flexors. And slowly, as you roll down, take the block away, roll down upper back, middle back, lower back, and the pelvis comes down. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Take the hands up onto the tops of the shins this time, so thighs might be connected. And deep exhale. Let's stay here for a couple of minutes with knees to chest. Relax the toes, the feet, the ankles. Try to relax into the legs, the belly, and the spine. Take your focus down to the root, down to the Muladhara chakra area, the pelvic floor. Make sure that there's no tightness, tension, gripping or clenching here. Mula Bandha is not engaged. So relax everything. This is also called all winds posture. You can probably understand why. Good for digestion. Keep exhaling to relax a little deeper. And then release the arms, release the feet, send the legs all the way along the mat into your Shavasana. And just take a few moments to feel the opening of the stomach, the relaxation through the digestive organs. Bring the heels, the toes together, point the toes here, so stretch the feet away, feel the tops of the feet really stretching. Lift the arms up on your next inhale breath, interlace the fingers, exhale, press the palms back behind you as you draw the elbows towards the ears. Big, long stretch through the body. Keep pointing those toes away, drawing the toes down towards the mat, trying to avoid any cramping. Find the breath. Your lower, middle, and upper back may have released away from the mat here, and only the shoulders and the buttocks are connected. And then gently release the feet, release the hands, come back into that Shavasana and give yourself a little shimmy. Relax the feet, the ankles, shake everything. Shake the legs, the hips, the waist and the shoulders. Roll the head from right to left. Stretch out gently through the neck. And then let's roll over onto our sides. And take time. We've been down there a while. Bring yourself up to seated. Okay, so coming into a seated butterfly here. So soles of the feet come together. You can always sit on a block here, or you can sit on a pillow or a bolster. And then just take your hands and just start massaging into the toes. So big toe, second, third, fourth, and little toe. Spread the toes so you can start to pull the toes back towards you here. So you can sense the stretch in the underside of your toes and pressing the soles of the balls of the feet and the heels together. And then come on the inside, so start to feel the thumbs down the center line of your feet. Nice little bit of pressure. traditional Chinese medicine, TCM as it's known, acupressure, working through the meridian points. And maybe when you're kind of running the thumb down that center line of the foot, you might feel different parts of the body feel any sensations. The foot is said to be equivalent to your body. So the upper part of the foot being the upper body down here, down to the root, this is your spine. And also, don't forget the outer areas. So here you might find spleen, kidney, livers, intestines connecting. Then massage into the tops of the feet. Not forgetting the arches, the bones of the feet, bringing the fingers and the thumbs back towards the ankle. And also into that little tiny soft socket just above the ankle bone. Not forgetting the other side. And then into the calves and the shins. So bring the thumbs on the inner line. So if you've got seams on your leggings or trousers, you can run the thumb up the side of your seam, all the way to the knee and back down. And taking both hands this time, just massage into the calves. Or you might have had a stressful few days. Massage into the front of the shin. Spread the calves out, all the way down to the Achilles and to the back of the knee. And the other leg. It's always nice to give yourself a little bit of a pamper. You might not have been for a foot massage or a pedicure for a while. And then lifting up the right foot. You can hold it out in front of you and just start circling through the ankle here. Circling one way and the other, as if you're drawing a big circle with your big toe. Notice clicks, crunches. Notice if that feels really nice and mobile. And then flexion and point, flexion and point. And then the other side. My ankles crack terribly, circling round one way. Ooh! It's my ankle. And the other. Again, drawing that big toe circle. And then flexion and point. Really try and feel everything that the foot is doing. And release. Let's come into tabletop. Tucking the toes underneath you. If you're on a hard surface, you might want to pad out the knees here. Wrists are underneath the shoulders and just really spreading the fingertips as well as spreading the toes. So cat and cow here. We're going to drop the belly, looking forward with the toes tucked for your cat. Keep the heels up towards the sky. Try not to let them splay out to the sides. And when you come into your cat, you relax the feet, tops of the feet press down. So tuck the toes on your cow. And release on your cat. Inhale to tuck. Exhale to release. Last one. And let's take it back. Wide leg, child's pose. Knees go to the outer edges of the mat. Big toes come together. Release back, Make sure the belly rests in between the thighs. You lengthen the spine away. Maybe the head is supported by a block here or down onto the mat. And the arms can be either close to the head if the shoulders aren't really allowing you to stretch the hands forward. Try to lengthen the spine with each breath here, and each exhale takes the hips and the buttocks back towards the heels. Let's stay here for a few minutes. Finding stillness in the mind and body. And then starting to lift the head as you breathe in and walk the hands back towards the body. Start to roll up slowly, slowly, slowly through the spine, keeping the head drop down for the moment, chin towards the chest. And as the spine starts to come straight, shoulders come back in line with the hips, and then you can bring the knees together. And if you feel comfortable in kneeling, you can always pad out underneath you. Bring the toes and the ankles together and just take a moment in thunderbolt pose or kneeling. And we are going to come into our toe stretches and our ankle stretches here. So coming forward, tucking the toes underneath you and rocking the weight back as much as comfortable. We're just going to do 1 minute of our toe stretch. Sitting nice and tall through the spine. Keep a smile on the face. Facial expression is relaxed. I know this is a challenging posture for some. Remember your intention of feeling grounded, safe and steady. If it's too much into the toes, just bring the weight forward. You can come down onto the fingertips. A few more breaths to finish that minute off. Doing great. And then coming forward. So this is an ankle stretch this time. Release the toes, let them respond. And then tops of the feet down. And then hands can come back behind you as you start to raise the knees, maybe away from the mat. So you might feel a little quad stretch here, but it is the ankles that are going to be starting to feel that. And the more weight that you bring back, the deeper that stretch is going to be, lifting the knees, or they might be down. Doing great. just 1 minute again, smiling to yourself. And gently release, come forward. Let's tuck the toes and just rock ourselves back into our feet, standing into our forward fold. So take a moment here to just find your feet in standing, maybe rocking forwards and backwards from toes to heels. Nice soft bend into the knees, feet are parallel. And then give yourself a little bit of length into the spine, fold from the hips, relax the belly, the chest down towards the thighs, and then take hold of the elbows if you wish, or the hands might be down on the mat. Relax the head, the neck, yes and no. And then you might start to lift the sit bones up as you exhale, letting gravity take the body further down towards the mat. Notice if you've taken tension into the toes, give them a wiggle and feel grounded through the feet here. Feet should be feeling quite energetic after the massage and all the work that we've just done. Keep feeling the weight is equal in each foot and in the whole of the foot. So there's not more weight in the heels or in the toes. And release the hands, bend the knees and heel toe the feet out to Malasana. Malasana squat does not have to be too deep. You can always sit on a block. So this time, draw the pelvis forward and down. Elbows come in towards the knees, hands come in towards the chest, and then engage Mula Bandha. So draw up your pelvic floor here. Notice what the feet are doing. Feel grounded and steady. Think about the knees opening, feet, they're rolling backwards towards the outer edge of your feet, towards the back of your mat. Mula Bandha is still engaged, still finding a steady breath. And then gently release the hands, lift the hips, heel toe the feet in, and just play around with whatever needs to go on here for you. So releasing into the legs, the hips, swaying from side to side. Let's come down to seated. And letting the legs come out in front of us. Okay. So sitting nice and tall here. Draw the toes up towards you and then spread the toes wide. So you're spreading the little toes out to the side and you're trying to draw the big toes in towards one another. So you're really trying to stretch underneath the toes here. And relax and release twice more. Draw the toes up, spread them out. Try to get gaps between the feet. Draw the big toes in, takes a bit of focus. And relax, last time. Draw the toes, big toes together, little toes out to the side. And relax. Take the right leg over. So this might be a little uncomfortable for your thigh, so maybe find the fleshy part of the outer shin, flexing into the foot and sitting nice and tall here. You might place a bit of weight onto that knee, relax the underneath leg, and then start to fold over. So you can take hold of the foot here if you like, just to keep it lifted, but keep that flexion in the foot so the sole of the foot presses away. Draw the shoulders down nice and equally so we're not drawing one shoulder more than the other. Let the body really try to relax over your leg here. Let the head relax down towards the shin. Each breath out relaxes a little bit more. Working towards your own edge. And then slowly roll up through the spine. And take that leg out. Change sides. And finding that nice comfortable place, holding onto the foot, maybe using that hand as a little bit of leverage, and the underneath leg that doesn't have to be flexed can be completely relaxed, and then lift up and start to fold over. Oh, this side is a little bit more comfortable. Nice deep exhales, relax the head down, let the chin fall towards the chest. Keep a nice flexion into the ankle so the sole of the foot presses away to the side of the mat. We're working up to our peak pose. Nice and gently start to roll up through the spine. And then releasing the foot out in front of you. Hands come back behind you and just windscreen wiper the knees out to the side. Nice and slowly, you can just drop the knees, stretch quads, hip flexors, and release to the opposite side. And if you want to go to the other side once more. And then coming up to that peak pose, which is a double pigeon. So right leg underneath you, left leg comes up on top. Now, there are modifications to this. You can sit on a block. You can place a block underneath that knee, so that's quite comfortable for me there. Remember, try to keep that flexion into the ankle there. So when we sit in this posture for a little bit longer, everything starts to drop and release. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Okay, so let's stay here 2 minutes. Sitting nice and tall, close the eyes, have a nice smile, expression on your face. Enjoy this one. Breathe steadily into the tight areas. Be aware if things are easing off for you. Doing great. A few more breaths to go. And slowly lift that foot off. Take it wide into your wide leg for a moment. And just give yourself a little bit of freedom. And you can gently fold forward if you like here. Relax the feet, relax the legs. Maybe place the head on a block or two. And whilst we're here, just draw the toes up towards the sky, gentle flexion, press away through the soles of the feet. Maybe the heels lift away from the mat, and then start to roll the feet forward into that point, so pressing the balls of the feet down, and then the toes, and then release, roll up. Left leg comes underneath. Flexion into that underneath foot. Right leg comes on top. Oof. And then using those blocks as you need to prop anything up. And then finding that posture on the opposite side. Steady and even breaths, remembering the exhale. Let go a little bit more, trying not to fight, trying not to resist. Going with the challenge. Last few breaths. Maybe you feel that you've got some more depth in the posture. And gently lift that top leg away. Release the right. Send the legs out. Give yourself a little shake or a windscreen wiper. Just find that recovery. And then let's come into half saddle pose. So right leg goes out in front of you, left leg comes underneath. You can roll the calf out of the way. And then if you wish to, always an option, you can place that block underneath the right buttock. If you find this really particularly tight into that left quadricep or the right hamstring even. So if you can come down, try to think about both sit bones connecting down towards the mat. If there's any pain in the front of the knee, that's probably advisable to use the block. Relax the leg and then start to fold forward. Supporting the weight of the body with the elbows or the hands. And think about the top of the foot really pressing into the mat. It's a bit of a deep knee flexion here, so if you do suffer with any knee issues, please be careful. And slowly roll up through the spine, bring the hands back behind you, either fingertips facing away or forward or out to the side, and then just gently lift the hips, stretch that right foot, see if the toes meet the mat, lift the hips up. You're going to feel a quadricep stretch on the left leg particularly. Lift the hips a little higher. Good. And then gently release. And take that leg nice and carefully out. So bringing that right leg underneath you. Again, using the block as you need to sit on. It really does help. Getting the calf free, thinking about the tops of the feet connecting. Knee goes forward rather than out to the side. So bring the knee in if you can. Grounding through the sit bones, sitting nice and tall, relax, and then when you're ready, start to fold. Use the hands and the elbows to support the weight, but let the head relax and be heavy. This side's a lot easier for me because of my knee injury on the left. These are half heroes, half straddle, or saddle.
So believe it or not, there's a lot going on in this posture for you right now. The left leg hamstring, back of the leg, you can always bend that knee. The right quad, knee, ankle flexion is all affected, and the back bend. The forward fold. Starting to walk the hands back towards the body as you roll up. Hands come back behind you. Fingertips might face away or to the sides. And then gently lift the hips as you stretch that left foot down. So you're really trying to press the toes into the mat. Lift the hips. Lift the heart. Few breaths. And gently release, roll over onto your left hip as you remove that right leg out. Give the legs a shake and take your time to roll down to your mat. Make yourself warm if you need to here, drawing the knees in towards the chest where we began our practice, and circle the knees out to the sides. Keep the knees together so that you can just do a big circle with the kneecaps, circling one way and the other. And then taking the knees out to the sides, keeping the feet off of the mat. Use the hands here as a little bit of weight. So if this is comfortable for you, use them to stretch the inner thighs, the inner groin. Try to relax through the belly and the spine here, lengthening the tailbone down. And if you feel that you want to extend the legs, keep the arms where they are and extend the legs from the knees. Try to relax into the Muladhara chakra, the pelvic floor area. Trying not to grip or hold any tension here. Let gravity drop those legs down a little further towards the mat. And then bend at the knee, draw the heels in, keep the knees wide, but draw the knees back towards the arms. Full happy baby here, taking hold of the feet, flexion through the ankle. Make sure the belly, the waist and the rib cage is free from the thighs, and then rock from side to side. Maybe dropping a knee down towards the mat. And once you've had a few rocks, bring yourself back into center, lengthen tailbone, relax face and neck, and deep exhale for a couple of breaths here. When we work with the Muladhara or the Mula Bandha, you tend to work a lot with the feet, the legs, and the hips and pelvis. So a lot of pelvic stability, but also opening and the rotation of the hip joint, inner thighs, groin area, glutes, hamstrings, and thighs. And nice and slowly release the hands, release the feet. Take your restorative rest. Feet go wide, knees drop in, and take a few breaths here before you make your way into full Shavasana, making yourself warm and comfortable for the last few minutes of our practice together. So if you haven't already made your way into Shavasana, do that now and make final adjustments to avoid any fidgeting in these precious moments of stillness. And it's not just stillness of the body here, it is stillness of the mind, which is probably the hardest thing to master in Shavasana. The posture itself, relatively easy. If you feel uncomfortable at all in this posture, you can always bend the knees or place a bolster or pillow under the knees. Try to relax into the face. Let the head be heavy and supported by the earth. The neck is soft, the shoulders are relaxed, shoulder blades fully connecting. Arms are heavy, palms face up. Fingertips are gently curling up towards the sky. There's no tension held in the hands at all. The spine and the torso are breathing easily. The belly is relaxed. The pelvis might feel slightly worked. Buttocks are softening, and the pelvic floor is completely released here. Relax the legs, the ankles, the tops of the feet, the toes. Taking a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, feel that breath release from the soles of your feet. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths, breathing in and out. Bring some soft and gentle movement back into the fingers, the palms, the wrists, the toes, the feet, the ankles. Bring the toes and the heels together, stretch the feet away, and then lift the arms as you breathe in. Interlace those fingers once more. Big stretch. Shoulder blades are connected, but the upper, the middle, and the lower back might have arched and pulled themselves away from the mat. Keep pressing the tops of the tips of the toes downwards, stretching the tops of the feet into the ankle, into the shin, into the thighs, and then gently release as you breathe out. Draw the knees in. All winds pose. roll from side to side, and then gently roll over to the side and press yourself up to seated. Return to butterfly pose here, soles of the feet together, hands into Anjali Mudra at heart center. Sit tall with all 10 toes touching, balls of the feet and the heels touching. And just take a moment to give yourself a body scan all the way from the crown of the head down through the spine into the hips, the legs, and into the ankles and the feet. Return back to your intentional sankalpa for practice. That statement of groundedness, balance, steadiness, safety, and trust. And always returning inwards to your safe haven at any time of need. Give your body, and particularly your feet and your legs, a big thank you today. And I thank you all. Namaste.